King Solomon is a name that would make anyone sit up and listen. The Bible talks a big game about this guy, painting a picture of a king who ruled over a huge chunk of land and was so wise he could solve any problem. Imagine having a brain like that. People say he built the most amazing temple you've ever seen right there in Jerusalem, and he is the richest man to have ever lived. Even today, we still talk about King Solomon. He's that kind of legendary. And now a bunch of archaeologists from Israel have just found King Solomon's tomb. Can you believe it? It's been hidden for over 3,000 years. So what kind of treasures and clues about the past did they find? Join us as we dive into this mystery together and see what secrets King Solomon's tomb holds. King Solomon's tomb, a historic discovery. For ages, people have been on the hunt for King Solomon's tomb. Some folks thought the whole thing was just a story since nobody had found it yet, but not anymore. A bunch of smart scientists and treasure hunters led by this awesome lady named Eilat Mazar made a mind-blowing discovery. They found the spot where King Solomon's final resting place might be, right in the city of David. Now, this wasn't Dr. Mazar's first rodeo. Back in 1986, she found a super old gatehouse near the city of David. At the time, she couldn't say for sure if it was Solomon's, so she kept quiet about it. Fast forward to 2009, Dr. Mazar decided to dig around the gatehouse again. You believe she found a whole bunch of super old stuff everywhere she dug? This stuff was like a time capsule from way back when King Solomon was alive. With all these new clues, she took another look at the gatehouse and realized it was probably built around the 10th century BC, which is when King Solomon was boss. So why should we trust Dr. Mazar's findings? Dr. Eilat Mazar was no ordinary scientist. She was a brilliant mind with a deep-seated respect for the scientific method. Her favorite saying, "We must let the stones speak," perfectly captured her approach to archaeology. It was as if the artifacts themselves held the key to unlocking the past, and Mazar was determined to listen intently. Even outside the world of academia, her reputation was stellar. Herschel Shanks, a well-known American lawyer, wrote a glowing article about her in 2007 for Biblical Archaeology Review. He didn't mince words when he praised her professional skills, saying that no one would dare question her abilities as an archaeologist. Mazar was often labeled a biblical scientist, a term that accurately reflected her unique approach to research. Unlike many of her colleagues who kept their religious beliefs separate from their work, she saw no conflict between the Bible and scientific inquiry. In fact, she believed that the two could complement each other, offering different yet equally valuable perspectives on the past. This open-minded attitude was refreshing in a field where science and religion were often seen as opposing forces. Among the countless treasures unearthed at the excavation site, over 30 bulli were discovered. These tiny clay seals, once used to close documents, held the potential to reveal fascinating details about the people and events of the past. One particular bulla caught Mazar's eye, sparking a level of excitement that was rare in the usually reserved world of archaeology. Her enthusiasm was a stark contrast to the skepticism that often greeted attempts to combine science and religion. It was clear that Mazar's deep knowledge of archaeology was instrumental in making this groundbreaking discovery. What made this find even more remarkable was that the team hadn't set out to find Solomon's tomb. Their initial goal was much grander. They were searching for the remains of King David's palace. While digging through the oldest part of Jerusalem, they stumbled upon something truly colossal. A massive wall segment stretching over 2,110 ft, known locally as the Cave of the Kings. This mysterious structure was shrouded in intrigue. Who built it and what was its purpose? The archaeologists were eager to uncover the secrets hidden within its ancient stones. The segment they uncovered included a gatehouse, a corner tower, and a royal structure. The archaeologists were stunned by the wall's size, suspecting it might be part of an even grander building like a temple or palace. They were thrilled at the possibility that this structure was connected to King Solomon's reign. Radiocarbon dating indicated that the site was from the period when King Solomon ruled. Dr. Mazar noted that this was the first time they had found a structure from that era that could match the descriptions of King Solomon's buildings in Jerusalem. But could this have been built by another king and not Solomon? So why is she so sure that it is Solomon's? Well, Dr. Mazar explained that there weren't many kings from the 10th century who could have built such a structure. It essentially could only have been David or Solomon. According to the Bible, King David, known for his battle with Goliath, was the father of King Solomon, who is credited with constructing the first temple of Jerusalem on the Temple Mount. Ceramics discovered near the wall helped date the structure to the second half of the 10th century BC, which was the era of King Solomon. Near the gatehouse they found large earth and water storage vessels, one of which bore a Hebrew inscription indicating it belonged to a high-ranking government official. Other finds included figurines typical of 10th century BC Jerusalem, such as four-legged animals and large-breasted women, likely symbolizing fertility. Moreover, archaeologists found jar handles with inscriptions mentioning the king and various Hebrew names. This makes the discovery even more fascinating and important. The historical and archaeological value of these finds cannot be overstated, as they provide a deeper understanding of the period and its people. The monumental goal of uncovering King Solomon's temple has been a big dream for archaeologists for ages. It's like searching for a legendary treasure chest filled with history. Recently, they stumbled upon a pretty cool discovery, a piece of an old wall in Jerusalem's Siloam area. This spot is super old, and people think it's where King David, Solomon's dad, had his palace. This new find is like adding a missing puzzle piece to the story of the area. It makes the tales about King Solomon, the super famous ruler of ancient Israel, seem even more real. Before, some people thought he was just a small-time leader, but this discovery paints a picture of him as a powerful king who ruled over a big kingdom, just like the Bible says. The city of David, named after Solomon's dad, is thought to be the oldest part of Jerusalem. It's like the city's grandparent. People believe this is where King David set up shop after kicking out the Jebusites who lived there before. Lots of cool old stuff has been found here, giving us a peek into Jerusalem's early days. The city of David, also called Wadi Hilwa, is a really important archaeological site. It's like an open book about what Jerusalem looked like thousands of years ago. This place is packed with history, from super old walls to fancy stone buildings. It's like a time machine that takes us back to the Bronze and Iron Ages. One of the coolest things ever found in the city of David is the Siloam Tunnel, which people also call Hezekiah's Tunnel. It's like this super old, super smart way to bring water into the city. You won't believe how clever the people who lived in Jerusalem back then were. We used to think King Hezekiah built it, but some new digging around says it might be even older than that. And guess what else they found nearby? A Roman-era pool, called the Pool of Siloam, and a really neat set of steps. Today you can visit all these amazing old places because they're part of the Jerusalem Walls National Park. It's run by the Israel Nature and Parks Authority, but the Aya David Foundation is in charge of the day-to-day stuff. You can find this park in Wadi Hilwa, which is kind of like an extension of the Silwan neighborhood in East Jerusalem. There's also an Israeli settlement close by. It's a pretty important place for archaeologists to learn about the past. The quest for royal tombs. Another cool thing they found is a huge stone building that some people think might be the leftovers of King David's palace. If this giant building really is connected to David and Solomon, it shows just how important the city of David was back in the day when they were kings. It was like the center of power and running things. Even though archaeologists before them had a tough time finding any royal tombs for Solomon or the kings after him, there are a few reasons why those old king tombs were missing in action. Maybe the city of David is just so big that they haven't looked everywhere yet, or with all the wars and crazy stuff that happened in Jerusalem over the years, the tombs might have been destroyed or really messed up. It's possible they're buried under newer buildings, but these challenges didn't stop archaeologists from hunting for those royal tombs. They knew how important it would be to find them because it would tell us a lot about the kings of ancient Israel and how they did things back then. Discovering those tombs would give us a peek into how they ran the country and what they were like as people. It would be like finding a treasure trove of information about life in ancient Israel. Even though they haven't found the tombs yet, the stuff they have found in the city of David is still super cool.